Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead reading. This is for week commencing the 12th of May. I hope you've had a great week. Let's have a look. What was your reading about last week? It was about a domino effect, about how things, by doing one thing, it can have a knock-on effect on other things in a positive manner. So let's see, how did that work out for you? And let's see what's in for the 12th of May. So we've got one card out already. These are the Energy Oracle. I use these all the time now. I love them. Okay, so we've got Daughter Romance. However, we've got All Tied Up. And that's my watch kicking off again. Interesting. When I first saw that card, Daughter Romance, what I noticed straight away was that heart is in the cage. Now, the cage door is opened up, but there's something about you being resistant to it. Something about feeling all tied up about it, feeling entrapped, feeling like you can't, you mustn't. Sorry, it's my watch keeps going off. Yeah, but then all tied up was very Eight of Swords for me, a bit like putting those hurdles in the way that aren't really there. But let's have a look. Do you know, most of the readings this week have been about relationships. It's very unusual for me. Anyway, dear spirit guides and angels, please join me in this reading for Virgo and make it helpful, hopeful, and healing. Bella, just come in and say a quick hello to Virgo. Okay, so we've got two out for your focus next week. This is Death and Rebirth and the Eight of Wands. Opportunity, please and thank you. And the Death and Rebirth is about something has to end, new beginnings starting. Could be a romantic beginning. Opportunity is the Queen of Pentacles. Your challenge is the Page of Wands. Oh my gosh, Virgo. External influence, Page of Swords. And advice and outcome. Ace of Swords. I haven't seen the Ace of Swords for a long time. I love this for you, Virgo. Okay. Especially with that all tied up. Now, the Death and Rebirth is exactly what it says on the tin. Something has to end, in other words, for something new to come in. You've got to stop doing something because it's gone on for long enough, because it's preventing something new from coming in. You've got the Eight of Wands. Now, traditionally, the Eight of Wands was all about romance, actually, back in the beginnings of the tarot days, I believe, because a lot of readers tell me this. It used to be about, the what was they called? The little cherubs that have the hearts, the crossbow, but goes through the heart. Not goes through the heart. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is about fast communication. This is about excitement, appointments. I don't know, but it's got fireworks with it, Virgo. I love that. Queen of Pentacles is your opportunity. Look how she's sitting there, very proud, almost like regal. Well, she's a queen, but really regal. But she's also very sure, confident, and grounded. And this also can mean about money, because she has got the pentacle there, about your finances, being very resourceful, very, very giving, lending. She makes the most of everything the Queen of Pentacles does. And there's an opportunity for you to do that. Maybe there's a bit of reevaluation going on here. What should you be giving more thought to, and more money to, and more energy and time to? The Page of Wands is your challenge. For me, this is simply saying, Virgo, you need to get out more. You're not having enough fun. Page of Wands in this deck especially, I love it. It's like, woohee, it's my woohee, get out, have some fun card. It's my, there's like a burden being lifted, and so she can throw a wand in the air and kick back. But I don't know why you're perhaps not allowing yourself to do that, perhaps because of the all tied up. You're feeling like, are you worried about what other people think? Or then you've got the Page of Swords as your external factor. Now, the Page of Swords can be a person if it is as an external factor, and if it's having a negative impact on you, they can be somebody who's just quite cutting with their words, a bit immature, keep reminding you of things that perhaps aren't particularly positive. They can be spying on you also. They can give you an element of literally keeping an eye on what you're doing. And that can have an impact on you to think, oh crap, you know, I don't want to give the wrong impression. And that's exactly what I'm feeling here. Now, the Ace of Swords is your advice and outcome. No, the advice of the Ace of Swords is focus on one thing and one thing only. Have more clarity on the situation. And I don't know, look at what I love about the Ace of Swords here, especially with this Queen of Pentacles, is you're ignoring them. You got your eyes shut. Advice, ignore them. Focus on you and your mindset and what you need at the moment. That's a very strong message there, Virgo. Right, we're going to clarify with this new deck. This is called the Simplicity Tarot by Emily Muniz. I don't know. I'm probably butchering her name. Sorry about that, Emily, if I am. Not too sure on them at the moment, but we're going to carry on with them. Lovely size. Very simple. So that is what that says on the tin. But anyway, let's just get on. Death and Rebirth, 8 of Wands. Door to Romance, Virgo. Right, let's have a look. Why are you here, please and thank you, for Virgo? King of Wands. Wow. Leadership and charisma. And the Fool. Carefree and new beginnings. There you go, Virgo. You've got to let that in. There's a big focus on, you know what? You need to get a bit more out there. You need to be out there a bit more. Sorry, my phone, I don't know if that affected the reading there. I didn't realise it had gone on to a different mode. Yeah, this is what this is about. Get out there, make some fireworks, get some communication out going again. Get yourself known out there. There's a big activity to be had. The King of Wands is about leadership and charisma. That's you, Virgo. Traditionally, you are Pentacles. However, they're wanting you to focus on, look, you know you're good at what you do. You've got that drive and determination. You've got that leadership. People look up to you when you're in that element. People are like, whoa, look at Virgo. And then you've got the Fool. Who cares? Carefree. Don't worry about what other people think and do and say. Queen of Pentacles is your opportunity. I want to say you want to be your own boss as well, especially with that King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. And you can be. That's clarified by the Four of Wands. And that's about stability again, celebration. And within the home. There's something to do with perhaps for some of you moving house. Worried about what other people might think for some reason. Ten of Swords, betrayal and suffering. And the Death card again. This has got to come to an end. And there is an opportunity to put an end to it. Again, you've got the Ten of Swords. This is about something coming to an end. The end of feeling like you've been stabbed in the back, the end of very, very stressful times. Because there's new beginnings here to be had. It's a 10. With that Death card, it's gone on long enough. Where did we have that? Oh, in your focus. Focus on what needs to be cut out of your life in order for something to come in. Or even introduced into your life, but you've got to cut something out because something's blocking you from doing that. You've got the Four of Wands, celebration and stability. Four of Wands is also the card of 1111. You're on your right path. There's an opportunity for you to focus on your stability too. There's a big, strong message there. And what you need within your home life, if you like. Page of Wands is your challenge. I just think you've been cooped up, Virgo. You've not, you've had so much, I don't know, on your shoulders that maybe you felt a little bit isolated too. Page of Wands as a person, as a challenge, can be somebody who's a little bit immature with their energy, a little bit like they don't really want to take responsibility for anything. They just want to have the fun side of it, but forget about the actual practicalities of life. I just think that you need a bit more of that. That's how you need to be. Page of Wands, please and thank you for Virgo. Why are you here? Especially with your advice card, or the Fool up there. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune. As I say, something's blocking that from moving on for you. Hanged Man. Yeah, Four of Coins. It's like the Wheel of Fortune comes when it's the right time, when it's very karmic, but you've got to allow that to come in. By being, I don't know, worried about what other people think for some reason, that's really strong in my mind, is preventing anything from moving on for you. Because you've got the Hanged Man also. And it's like you're just stuck in a very hermit-like energy even. Can't see the wood for the trees. There's something about it's gone on for too long. And again, with the death and rebirth, that's exactly when that comes in. And then you've got the Four of Coins. And this is about, well, it says on this card, greed and control, which is where I don't agree with some of these keywords on here, because you need to make your own keywords for your tarot based, around the meaning of the card. Now, the meaning of the card for me for this is financial stability. Here, they've just said, I don't know, maybe control. But I read that as a bad thing with this card. But in actual fact, I think the reason that you're not getting out a little bit, you're too focused on the finances. There's some element of you thinking, oh, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. And also the Page of Swords being your external factor, I feel like you feel that other people will judge you maybe, or have an opinion about you, or even gossiping behind your back, because the Page of Swords brings messages and communication, but they can be as a shadow side, somebody who watches you and then may go and gossip about you. Well, let's have a look. Can't make that up. You've just got judgment there. Fear of being judged also. The Hermit. It's you, Virgo, actually. Sorry. You just turned up in your own reading, which I love. Okay, so the external factors to do with all this next week. Yes, you're worried about what other people are thinking, what other people might be saying. You've got judgment. That tells me that, because judgment has got a few meanings, but when you've got these other cards around it and the message was quite clear from the offset, this just can mean that there's a fear of being judged. They're coming to conclusions that aren't actually factual. But it's also about an awakening and you're having your calling. There's something to do with, maybe this will is kind of coming to a head next week, where you feel like, no, okay, right, I need to come out of my box. I need to stop being, dampened down. I need to say something, get up and communicate, because I'm pretty sure that's Archangel Gabriel, and he's got the big, horn of communication there, and they're calling you. It's like it's the right time, though, Virgos. Don't let these other people put you off through fear of judgment. You've got the Hermit. Now, this is you, and when you turn up in your own reading, this is you. The Hermit is attributed to Virgo in the tarot. It puts you in a position of power and strength, so you can do it. You can banish these thoughts here, all tied up. Perhaps you need to remove yourself, literally, because the Hermit is about going within, having introspection and having a very good think. But it's also about solitude and removing yourself from people that perhaps might be judging you. Then you've got the Nine of Swords, anxiety and stress. Now the ninth, this is like, you know, doubling down on the fact that this, whatever this is keeping you up at night, perhaps. But the advice card of it, the Nine of Swords, is then remove yourself. That's why the Hermit is here. Cut them off. I'm surprised I haven't got the Queen of Swords here. You need the swords to cut those ties, look, to release yourself, to release that heart out of that cage. Now, the Ace of Swords is your advice and outcome. And I just, oh my gosh, I'm so drawn to the fact that she's closed her eyes, she's got her head held high. And it's like, no, just you think your own thoughts, you have the clarity in mind, you have the perspective that you know, what you want to focus on. You carry on doing that. Oh, we've got two there. Clarified by the Ace of Wands, Temperance. And the Knight of Wands. You've got Knight of Wands. Advice of that is just go for it, Virgo. Adventure, passion. Remember what you are. The King of Wands is what they want you to focus on next week. You maybe do have your own business. Maybe you have your own, you know, you are a manager at work. But whatever it is, you are in control. They want you to focus on getting back on that horse and driving forward. Because I feel like you've been stuck for a little while with that all tied up energy. You've got a Temperance. The advice of this card is patience. You need to be patient, but there's a balance to be had there. There's a good degree of being patient, but also a degree of being that Knight of Wands and still pushing through. I think you'll be patient with, I don't know, because I'm drawn to the fact there's two cups, they're trying to blend something, aren't they? It's like saying, be patient, it will all work out. Stop overthinking it. And then the Ace of Wands is about, focus on not only the Ace of Swords, your mental clarity, but also what you're trying to achieve, your goal. This wand is your determination, whatever is driving you and making you feel very determined. Keep focused on that as the outcome. Let's see what wisdom of the Oracle have to say here for you, Virgo. I just feel like you want to start something new, but you just, I don't know. You're worried about what people think and how it will reflect on others. Time to go. There we are. Time to go, Virgo. That's a very simple message. She's on a new path there. I'm going to read the message of that, though. 45. You are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move. You've got death and rebirth twice here. Just saying, it's time to move on with experiences and new way of being. There's nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstance. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. Your destiny is calling you. That's your Judgment card. There was something else that just, anyway. That's a very clear message, Virgo. Hope you enjoyed it. I loved it, as always. Thank you so much for your love and support of the channel, and I'll see you next week. Take care.